Hello. So today I am going to be joining you live from my church. I actually had to drop off my own children to AOK camp here, and I had some students that I was going to be working with right at the time that I dropped them off. So, I mean, it worked out so perfect that I was able to teach my own kids. At church and still work with my own students that I had. I mean, I got to tell you, I really love the flexibility of really being able to teach anywhere. It's been absolutely fabulous. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Joanne Kaminski. I am known as a Skype and Reading Tutor. I started my own online tutoring company back in 2010, and I'm finally at the place in my business where I'm completely book solid. Like, I literally do not have many spots that are open. I pretty much work from 9 to 5:30 every single day, and I'm able to also work that around the being a mom and being able to do the things that I need to do as a mom. I ended up getting started being an online tutor because I personally was missing my own children. You know, am I have three of them. They're now ages 7, 9, and 11. But when I got started, you know, they were much, much younger. And I still had some kids that were at home. And I was missing them desperately. I'd be going to work, and I would, you know, be missing in my heart my own children. And, you know, it was really hard for me every day to wake up, go to work, and not be there for my own kids. And when you work full-time in the school system, you're working more than full time. You know, you're working 50, 60 hours a week. And as a mom, that's a hard thing to do. Now, there's lots of tutors out there that, you know, they all have their own reasons why they want to tutor online. You know, they want to be able to reach out and touch lives of children all over the world. And I have the opportunity to do that today. I teach kids in Australia, Canada, London. I have a student in Alaska and all over the United States. And I have to say, it's absolutely the biggest blessing that I have to literally be a sought out a sought out tutor from all over the world. Now, when I got started tutoring online, I hadn't a clue of what I was doing, and there was really nobody out there that could help and guide me. The people that were tutoring online already, they had their own thing going on, and you know, they didn't really know me, and I had made a decision that, you know, if I figure this thing out, if I figure out how to really run my own online tutoring company, then I am going to help other people do that same thing. So I'm really excited to be able to offer the tips and tricks that I've used to be able to build my business and share what it is that I am able to do with everybody else out there who is wanting to do that or wanting to be able to do it better. Now, what I love about tutoring online is that I am able to make more money, let's say, than, you know, somebody who's working at Sylvan. I've talked to several people who've worked for Sylvan, and they make like $10 an hour, and Sylvan charges about $42 to $50 an hour. So, you know, to me, that just doesn't make sense. And I've always wanted to empower teachers. And I thought, you know, what if we could have teachers making $50 an hour and not have a middleman like Sylvan who's getting all of the clients? What if I could help other people be able to give them their own clients and be able to help them? So this series is actually going to be a 6-week series. We're going to dive into the 5 top mistakes that people make when they want to become an online tutor. We're going to go over each of those today pretty briefly, but then after that, we're really going to dive into each and every single one over each week. So next week, we'll focus on number 1. The week after that, we're going to focus on number 2. There's also, if you are in Google Plus right now, there is a handout inside of there. You can get a copy of today's information with the top 5 mistakes listed on there, along with a couple of free gifts that you can get as well. So let's dive on in. Our very first one is we as online tutors, we think, hey, if we build it, they're going to come. That's number 1. If we build it, they will come. And so specifically what they think is, if I build a website, people are just going to automatically find me online, and I'm going to be able to get people all over the world. And unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. There's so much more that we need to do to get people to find us. And that's probably the number one question that I get from people all the time. Where do you get your clients from? And I end up telling people, well, I have built my business to the point where I really understand social media. I understand how to make connections online. I write on a blog. I am able to get then from my blog, I link people to my website. I hold webinars like this, but I didn't do all of that right from the beginning. I ended up doing some of this stuff right away, slowly, and I'm reading this one book. It's called The One Thing. And I think that's really the whole premise of what got me to where I'm at today is that one thing. I have focused on one thing at a time. What's the next thing that I need to learn in my business to take me to the next level? And that's what I have really focused on. Because if I focus on how to do all of this stuff all at once, I would have driven myself crazy. So there's lots of things that we can learn to do, but it specifically isn't just about building a website and then people are just automatically going to find it. I tell people that nobody will find you online accidentally. Do you know how many websites that are out there online? Nobody's just going to all of a sudden like run into your website. People will find you by clicking on certain things, and you have to do certain things on the back end in order for them to find you. So we'll go into more detail on what that all entails next week. We're going to go on to the second thing that people who are online tutors end up doing, and they think that they need to learn everything at once. And well, we just can't. We're not built that way. It's so much better just to focus on that one thing that you need to learn now. And I always think about, okay, who has that information that I need to bring me to the next level? I've worked with business coaches. I've worked with people online. I've purchased programs. I've done all these things so that I can learn that next thing that's going to bring my business to the next level. So you don't need to learn it all at once. You can learn a little bit at a time. Maybe it starts with getting that book that's going to bring you to the next level right away. Maybe it's all about being able to learn how to connect with people in the social media world. Just focus on that next one thing that you need to be able to do. The third thing that people do is they try to qualify themselves as a tutor in everything. And here's my premise. If you think you're an expert in everything, you're actually an expert in nothing. You need to really decide what it is that makes your heart beat. What do you absolutely love to teach? For me, it's reading. I have always had this passion for teaching kids to read, and so that is the area that I focus on. So that's why I'm known as the Skyping reading tutor, because I teach kids how to read via Skype. But here's the thing: there are people out there that say, "Oh, I can do math, I can do SAT prep, I can do science, I can do all of these different things." But I want to compare this to a doctor, right? We all go to like a general doctor that we go to, and when we go into the doctor's office, they do a regular checkup on our body and all of that great stuff. Cool, right? But just because they are a general doctor doesn't mean that they are good in everything. Would you have that same doctor give you a heart transplant? No, because they're not trained to be able to do that. They're not trained to be able to go deeper into the heart and be able to do that. And that's very similar to the tutoring side, right? If I just focus on reading, I can go deeper with kids when it comes to the problems that they're specifically having. I can figure out specifically what is that child struggling with, and then I can be able to give them the tools that they need to bring them to the next level. So being an expert in one specific area actually sets you apart from all of the other tutors that are out there. And there's so much great marketing that you can do. You can think about who your ideal client is. You can be able to really speak to them. When you're kind of going at that whole like general, oh, I can teach anything mentality, then you kind of lose connection with who it is that you want to be able to attract. The fourth mistake that people make is that they start spamming people in their social media, inside their email boxes, and they're trying to get people to spread the word about what it is that they do, and that's good. There are great things that go along with that, but when we are communicating to other people about what it is, we need to go at it with a 20-80 formula. Now, by 20-80, I mean that 20% of the time you're letting people know about what it is that what you do, and 80% of the time you are just being helpful and being your normal self. If you are constantly just putting information out there on the internet about how great you are, what a great tutor you are, information about tutoring, people kind of get sick of that. They're going to defriend you. They're not going to open your emails. And, you know, all of a sudden, you kind of become that thorn in people's side. And so you want to continue to have regular relationships with people and just continue to do the best job that you can possibly do. What's going to happen from there is that people are going to begin referring you because you are doing such a great thing out there in the world. I had no idea when I first got started this whole power of referral thing. You know, as a teacher, you just have your students come into your classroom and you teach them, and you never have to go out there and find them and all of this. So I didn't really understand this whole power of referral. And all of a sudden, you get one client who just loves what it is that you do. They are telling everybody that they know about what you do. You don't even have to ask them to do it. They are so excited to share what it is that you do that they continue to tell people. And that's what you want to be able to build in your business. In fact, I would have to say right now about 70% of my new clients I get, they all come from referrals because people are so excited about what it is that I do and how I'm able to help kids and how it actually saves people, you know, gas. They don't have to drive to a center. All they have to do is turn on their computer, set their kid up, bam, they're ready to go. They can do their laundry. They can do 5 million other things that are on their to-do list, and their kids are able to get the help that it is that they need. It's very sweet. And the cool thing is, you know, if they've got friends that live in another state, in another country, you know, they're able to spread that with them. Whereas before, they never would have been able to. You can't share a tutor who lives by you with somebody in another state. But here, I mean, you just are able to explode the amount of people who now are able to work with you. So it's a pretty cool thing that we're able to do as online tutors. Now, the fifth thing that is the fifth mistake that a lot of tutors will make in the beginning is they think, I have to have all of my materials completely ready to go before I'm ever able to work with my first student. And they worry about getting all of those things in place and getting the materials made and all of this kind of stuff. But here's the thing that they're missing. What you want to be able to do is have the perfect client experience. Worry more about the experience that you're about to offer your clients than having everything perfect. Your students are going to determine the materials that you're going to need. And so as you find out that a child is struggling with this or with something else, then all of a sudden you're going to go online, you'll find websites out there that can help you be able to achieve the goals that you need to. And it will all be at your fingertips. And I think that's what I absolutely love about being able to teach online is any tool that I specifically need to be able to teach my kids is right there. And it's awesome, you know, to be able to say, okay, this child is struggling with fluency. Let me open this up. Okay, let's read. Let's do it. the kid isn't stopping at periods and all of that, great, then I can use my coaching skills to be able to guide them into some better practices than what they're doing. If my child isn't understanding what it is that they're reading, then I can make sure that I'm building in those comprehension strategies that are going to take them to the next level. And you know what? I know it's the same way with people who teach music, with people who teach math, with people who do SAT prep. It is the same exact thing for them as well. So it's pretty cool. Now, I do have the question box opened up. So anybody who is looking for to ask a question is more than I'm more than happy to take any of those questions that you have and be able to answer those questions for you right here. So a couple things that I'm going to let you know about as you go on in and you're able to ask your questions. I do have a free training series. It's at www.tutorpreneurs.com. And if you go straight to that website, you will be able to get free videos that will help you as you're building your business. I also have a brand new training, which is called Book Your Tutoring, Online Tutoring Business Solid. Now here's the thing, right, when it comes to tutoring online, you got to get to all your own students. And some people like that, some people don't like that. I have really enjoyed the process of being able to find each of my own students. It's been really cool. I mean, I always ask people, you know, where did you find me? And they'll be like, oh, I ended up purchasing your book, 31 Days to Become a Better Reader, and I realized that I probably don't have the tools or the patience to be able to help my child, and I'd like you to help my child. I've had people who are like, yeah, I typed into Google this phrase and you ended up coming up. So there's lots of things that we can do to be able to find those people online, and it's really fun, you know. As a teacher, you know, we kind of get stuck in, okay, teaching, finding the right tools and all that kind of stuff, but this kind of like gets us onto the other side of the world and learning some new skills. So I have a question here from Angela. She's asked, how long have you been tutoring online and how long did it take you to build a full schedule of clients? Angela, that's an awesome question. And I'd have to say it probably took me about 3 years to be able to get that full-time schedule of students. And I do have right now about, I would say I have 35 students, and I'm working over 40 hours right now. So it did take me about 3 years to be able to do that, because here's the biggest thing, I had to go and figure out what it is that I didn't know and then learn it. And that takes time, which is why I am so passionate about being able to help others who are just getting started or have been tutoring for a while and they want to build their skills to the next level. And sometimes we don't know what it is that we need to know next. And we can skip certain things that are really, really important. And I know for a long time I had skipped some things that were important that I needed to be able to do. And that's what took me a long time to be able to build it. I was also a stay-at-home mom, so you know my passion was also in being present for my own children. So you know, it was that whole balance thing. So yeah, it took me longer than I wanted, but how cool today that I do have that full schedule of students, and I'm at the point in my business right now where I have to charge more because I can't take on more kids. So I can only take on people who are willing to pay me more. So in the fall, I'm moving up my prices to $60 an hour instead of $50. So, I mean, how awesome is that, right? To give yourself a $10 raise an hour with all of the new clients that you'll be working with. It's pretty cool. You know, when you are in demand, it's that whole supply and demand thing. You're able to take in more people because of that. So thank you so much for all of you guys that have joined me. If you came in late, and I apologize, I had to change times today because I had a client who needed to change times. You'll be able to see the entire replay of the top 5 things that people getting started in online tutoring they end up having a problem with. So you'll be able to catch all of that live on, not live, but the replay on YouTube. And over the next 5 weeks, I am going to go deeper into each one of those things that I talked about today. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your day. Oh, and if you're interested in checking out the Book Yourself Solid training, I have put a link on the Google Plus page. I will also add that link into the YouTube page as soon as the video is up and going. So thanks for joining me, everybody, and I'll see you next week. Bye.